Derek, I have one bit of advice for you. Get yourself together. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want to put my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Have and Have Nots. This is season 6, episode 26. As I said, Derek, get your goddamn self together. What is really going on? A mess. Anyway, we picked up right where we left off. Hannah done stabbed up old dude, jacked his ass up, broke out. She ran outside. Now she's running up and down the street, hollering like a goddamn fool, making all this noise in this quiet little neighborhood. I didn't get it. I didn't understand the back and forth up and down the street. Somebody help me. Back and forth up and down the street. There was somebody inside trying to kill you. You run out the door. I don't run out the door and keep it pushing. I don't know. I'll just keep them running up and down the street, back and forth. I just didn't get that. But anyway, Derek ended up coming as he heard her cut the fool. And that's got all that going on. I was like, whatever. I said, oh boy, this is going to be one of them episodes, honey, where we're going to drag this on for 2 hours. Anyway, Veronica and Jeffrey have a little run-in down there to the hospital. She went down there and found David. She's in there hollering at David, telling him to get up, wake up, you bastard, wake up, get up. This, that, thing, and the other. And Jeffrey's like, get away from him. Don't touch him. Get your ass on out of here. And she's like, what are you talking to? And he kept on, he said, I'm warning you. I'm not playing around with you. I told you to get your ass up out of here. She's still going on. She took her purse and was hitting David with her purse. I said, this bitch is crazy. He's laying there back just as burnt up at him. It ain't as burnt up as Eric. It ain't that burnt up at him, but it's burnt up. He laying there. That bitch started hitting him with her purse. I said, Veronica, you are an evil, wicked bitch. But baby, what's worse than an evil, wicked bitch? A whole evil, wicked queen, honey. That Jeffrey went over there and grabbed them damn the 2 handles on that defibrillator, honey, and gave her ass. I said, oh! Her ass just collapsed. I said, oh, damn, Jeffrey. Shocked the shit out of her and brought her ass to her knees. I said, got you, bitch. He hit the shit out of her. I said, oh, well. Baby, when she came to, honey, they had her laid up in a goddamn room talking to her. She gonna say, call the police. Call the police. I want to arrest it. My son, he did it. Hey, that doctor looked and said, interesting family dynamic. I said, you think, honey? You think? Tore her ass up. And then he ends up talking to David. Later on, David's like, Jeffrey, don't do that to your mother. You could have killed her. He gonna say, I wish I had her. Said, oh my God. Then he admitted it to the other doctor, the little young doctor. The young doctor's like, Jeffrey, don't tell me that. Don't say that you did it, because I'll have to call the police. Your mother's already asking for the police. Don't tell me that you did it. I have to call the police. But see, I have been peeping the little doctor, honey. The doctor doesn't want to call the police, honey. The doctor wants to be calling your name in the midnight hour. So just play your cards right, Jeffrey. Jeffrey didn't give a fuck. Jeffrey was like, I did it. I shocked the fuck out of her, and I'll do it again. I was like, Lord have mercy. Anyway, Mitch ends up contacting Betty and tells Betty, listen, my family is after you. I'm going to need you to stay in the public or get yourself a room. There's 2 guys there already watching Betty. Oh, excuse me, you guys. And then Benny actually knew it. Benny was actually, he seen him. He was like, yeah, things is getting kind of crazy down here. He seen him. I was like, Lord have mercy. So he was like, just stay put. Just stay put. Mitch ended up getting into it with his Uncle Don. Dawn's like, okay, well, whatever. We got the guys. You know how this goes. We call somebody that calls somebody that calls somebody. Now, we're trying to call it off, but shit, you know how shit be. You know, and he's like, all right. He's like, but whatever. What I hear is he said, Vinny told me old dude is due for a payment anyway with interest. So they go back and forth, back and forth. And he's like, why can't you all just take the money back? He doesn't have, he didn't buy the truck, this, that, and the other. He's like, he better make the payment with interest. Anybody trying to hear that shit? And then they went through this whole thing, and he says to Benny, do you like the blacks? And Mitch is like, what? And they're going back and forth. I said, you know what? They're starting to get on my nerves with this thing about how they really don't like black folks. I was like, y'all doing too much. And then Dawn actually threatened him, talking about, you want to be like him? I said, oh, stop. So horrible, so racist, so cute. Whatever. So last I heard, Mitch was on his way to meet Benny. I was like, whatever. He's like, stay put. I'm coming to get you. Catherine ends up talking to Derek. Derek ends up telling him what had happened with Hannah and this, that, thing, and the other. He woke her up out of her sleep. When she looked over, that goddamn Jim is in the bed with her. She said, what are you doing there? He gonna say, I'm getting some goddamn sleep, Katie. What does it look like? I said, you know, Jim is just too much. He just runs around just doing whatever he think he want to do. I've been knocked the shit out of Jim's ass. But that was that whole thing. So she ends up on her way over there. And or I just had too much of this whole thing with Derek. Derek got on my nerves so goddamn bad this episode because he go in there, he supposed to be consoling Hannah. Hannah told me, I'm so scared. I ain't never been so scared in my life other than one other time, and that's when I got raped. And he got to crying so bad that Hannah ended up consoling him. I said, well, wait a minute. What did I miss? He was just crying and wailing and falling out. I said, I done had enough of your shit. A whole enough. Falling out and crying and wailing and carrying on. And Hannah even looked at him at one point like, the fuck? It was a whole mess. I said that whole thing got on my nerves. It really did. I don't know why, but it just got up underneath my skin, and I was just so done with Derek. I was like, I'm gonna need you to stop. It's just too much. This is too much. And he ended up calling. He finally got Hannah to give him the phone. He ends up calling Benny to tell him about Hannah, but didn't tell him everything. Told him, you need to get home. Lord have mercy. Benny gets up. As soon as he said something was wrong with Hannah, he forgot all about what Mitch said that went on outside, honey. And the next thing you know, he's being trailed by the two guys. They get to fighting him and carrying on. And then the last we see of them, they shooting at Benny. But Benny had beat the shit out of both of them. I said, why they send these old tired motherfuckers down there to fight with this young boy? Benny tore their asses up. I was like, oh. He was kicking them all in their gimbals and slamming one man's head all through the car window. I said, well, go ahead, Benny. Get it a little bit. He was tearing their ass up. But he got to shoot. I said, then they can't even shoot. So that was a whole mess. So we got that going on. Okay. Then there was this call for Justin went down to this call. He gets there, and you know the cops are giving him the blues because he's gay. He get down there, and the guy will say, they ain't had anybody else to send but you. I said, oh, shady. And as he said, this guy been standing in front of this woman's house. She done called the cops because he being creepy. And he's like, he said he don't want to listen. So Justin goes over to him. He goes and just cold calls Justin. All it was the man was a plant. He needed to do something to get arrested so he can get in there so he can kill Wyatt. And that's what he did. I said, this is so corny. So corny. Because who goes to jail with a trench coat on? He had a trench coat on and all this, and they put him in the cell with a trench coat on. I said, whatever, Tyler. Whatever. A mess. Last thing. Candace and RK. They didn't. Old boy ran out of the house when he ran out of the house in the midst of Hannah running up and down the street. Jumps in the van and they drive off. They get down there. He done bled out in the back of the truck. Candace tells RK check his pockets. Of course, he had Betty's money, so he takes it. He gets the money, and they go walking down the street after Candace tears her skirt and sets the truck off, sets the van on fire. A whole mess. A whole mess. But again, a wasted episode. It was very kind of lackluster, but I'm like, okay, I'm still hanging in here, y'all, with y'all. But yeah, they set that little van on fire. She getting on up out of there. I said, no, with Benny's money, you gotta get Betty killed, get the shit killed out of Betty. But whatever. Anyway, that's about it. So I will catch you guys on the flip side. I'll catch y'all next week. Later.